Namaskar, Abhishek, once again with a new episode in the series called Unlocking Stars with Abhishek. Unlocking Stars with Abhishek is a series on Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, in short, BPHS, is one of the most fundamental, most genuine, most authentic scriptures in Vedic astrology available to mankind till today. This great scripture is in the form of discourse between great teacher and his beloved student Maharshi Parasar and Maitre. Through this series, we are just paying humble and respectful tribute in the lotus feet of Mahaguru Maharshi Parasar by the recitation and commentary on verse by verse basis. In the last episode, Maharshi very gracefully completed the chapter called Grah Asput Bala Adhyaya. He investigated, he put forwarded, he revealed the technique, classical technique for the evaluation of the strength of grahas. And then in the end, he closes very nicely with the two verses dedicated to the Phal Kathan Adhikari, all about the qualification of the astrologer. What is the expectation of Maharshi Parasar, who are authorized to do the prediction? He is not accepting, he is not expecting, he is not allowing anybody could start and speaking about the Hora, about the prediction. You need any serious seeker of this Shastra need some qualifications. So he talked in detail through the two verses. And he indicated we need to understand more about the grahas. We need to understand more about the yogas for entering into the Hora Askand as a Phal Kathan Adhikari. Today, Maharshi will reveal East and Cust. That is the all about how to understand the intrinsic tendencies of the different planets for a particular native. So he will come up with a new adhyaya. That is the beginning of the new adhyaya. That is called Atha East Cust Adhyaya. Let's pray Jagat Guru, Adi Guru, Dev of the Dev, Mahadev first, before entering into the Mahaguru Parasar Mahakathan related to the East Cust Adhyaya. Let's come together first. Agorebhyot Gorebhyo Ghora Ghora Taribhyascha Sarvatha Sarve Sarvebhyo Namaste Rudra Rupebhya. Jai Gurudev. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har. After bowing down in the lotus feet of Sri Mahadev, now we are ready to enter into the Mahaguru Parasar Mahakathan related to the East Cust Adhyaya. Before emerging into the verses, into the real Guru Kathan, Guru Vak, we need to understand why Maharshi is coming up and how these concepts are relevant in order to understand more about the planets and their impact on us. He is going to talk about the Rashmis first, in the first part of this adhyaya. Rashmi, if we translate, Rashmi is a ray of light. One of the name of sun in Sanskrit is Rashmi, Rathi also. So sun is the only source of the Rashmis. Sun is the only source of the light. Sun is the only source of the energy beams which is radiating continuously from sun. And the other planets, including moon. When I'm talking about the planets in astrological system, then I'm talking about moon as a planet. So including moon to others, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, all, they are reflecting the Rashmis. What Rashmis, what radiation they received from sun in all directions continuously. That's why these two luminaries, sun and moon, sun is the whole source of the radiation term representing the Lord Shiva. And the moon is starting behaving like a moon is in the reflection business. Moon is doing the Paravartan, representing the Parvati. So these Rashmis are basically the electromagnetic radiations. These are the electromagnetic radiations, energy beams. They scientifically also be understand, they directly impact us, all the living beings, even non-living beings also on the earth. And that impact on us triggers the astrology, because astrology is the study of the impact of celestial events on us. A lot of research is going on and already done also. Lots of papers published already. Effect of electromagnetic radiations on cells, on human being. So many. So there is no doubt about it. These Rashmis, electromagnetic waves, are impacting us. So these electromagnetic spectrum basically is organized in a different range according to their wavelengths and frequencies. Some are visible, some are not visible, including radio waves to infrared, and so on and so forth. So it's very easy to understand. Some parts are good and some parts are bad. So some parts are benefic, Rashmis, and some parts are malefic. Some are Shubh and some are Ashubh. In this manner, they work for us. And this whole science is called spectroscopy, a study of these Rashmis, a study of these individual or electromagnetic waves. And so how scientific, how logic it is, how they are originating from sun and reflected by the planets, and they're impacting us. So it's very logical, very scientific, and very systematic science. And Maharshi is coming up with the revelation related to this in this chapter. Maharshi has revealed this one already 2,500 years ago. For us, being the part of this parampara, this is not new research. Maharshi has revealed long, long ago. So hope you understand how systematic these things are coming up. So now, with this information, we are going to enter, we are going to immerse in Mahaguru Parashara Mahakatha. I will do Rashmi's how to play with these calculations according to the revelation of Mahaguru Maharshi Parashara. Let's come along. Atha Istakastadhyayaha Parashara Uvacha Atha Chestam Atha Chaistam Atha Chestamnistam Chagrahanam Kathahamyam. He's saying, Hey Maitre, Hey Maitre, I'm going to tell you about the benefic east and about the malefic cust tendencies of a planet. I'm going to tell you. Yat vascha prachyami subha subh dasa phalam. According to that, according to these tendencies, east and cust tendencies of the planet, the dasa effect of any native can be decided. So why Maharshi is going to do this exercise? That declaration in the verse 1. So Maharshi is saying, I'm going to tell you about the east and cust of the planets, benefic and malefic tendencies of the planets. According to those tendencies, you could understand the Subh and Asubh effect on the dasas of a particular native. That is the declaration in the verse 1. Verse 1 is all about the declaration. What great Guru Maharshi Parashara is going to do in this chapter, he's saying. Now he is coming with the revelation. The first one is a Ucha Rashmi Sadhan. Ucha Rashmi. Ucha Rashmi is the exaltation rays. Exaltation rays he's talking about. What is exaltation rays and how to calculate the sadhan vidhi? He is coming up. He is coming up with this one. How to do one. So let's immerse in this verse. Ucha Rashmi Sadhana Swanicho no graha sodhyaha Sadbhadike bhava mandalat Saiko rasir bhaved ucha Rasmir dvindam sanyuta. The Ucha Rasmi, how to do the calculation. In the second verse, Maharshi is revealing that. So the first thing is, you need to understand you need to understand the planet's exaltation and debilitation position. And that data will help you to calculate exaltation rays. For example, for Sun, exalted in Aries 10 degree and debilitate in Libra 10 degree. So for every planet, Maharshi has revealed in Graha Gun Swarupa Adhyaya. You go back, watch again, remember that one. So he is saying you need to check the actual position of the planet. So actual position of the planet means the longitude of the planet in the particular chart. For example, for Sun, you get the longitude of the planet in the particular chart of a native. Then you have to deduct the deep debilitation point from that actual position. Then you will get a value. It's very easy. Because for every planet, you have already deep debilitation points you have already. For any native chart, you got the planetary position. And from that planetary position means longitude, you have to just subtract the debilitation point. Then you will get some value. So there is a possibility that value, whatever you get, that difference may be more than 6 sign or maybe less than 6 sign. So that precaution you have to take care. The correction you have to do like you did in previous chapters. If the difference is more than 6 sign, then you have to subtract that one from the 12th sign. And if it is less than 6 sign, then leave it as it is. So that thing you have to be careful when you get the value, the difference when you get it. Now you are ready with the resultant, whether it is less than 6 sign as it is, or if it is more than 6 sign, then correction by the difference from the 12th sign. Then you have to increase that one by one Rasi. You have to add one Rasi in the result, one Rasi, and convert it into the degrees. Convert whole thing into the degrees and multiply that one by 2. Multiply that one by 2. That will give you Uch Rashmi of that planet. That number, that value will give you the exaltation rays value, Uch Rashmi, for that particular planet. So by this method, you can find out, you can calculate, you can evaluate for any native the exaltation rays. Exaltation rays you can calculate for all 7 planets. Now, the second category of the Rashmis. That's why I just started with the spectroscopy. Like electromagnetic spectrum has different categories of the radiations. So similarly, here it is coming like Uch Rashmi, Chesta Rashmis. So now Maharshi is going to reveal the Chesta Rashmi. Chesta Rashmi, for calculation of Chesta Rashmi, requires Chesta Kendra. And you know, for sun and moon, when we were Carefully listening to Mahaguru Maharshi Parashara, he revealed, for sun, Chestabal is Ayanbal, and for moon, Chestabal is a Pakshbal. He did not talk about the Chesta Kendra for sun and moon. That's why he will talk here for sun and moon. That's why he has dedicated 2 verses related to the Chesta Rashmi. Through first verses, he is revealing the process. So let's immerse in the verse first. Chesta Rasmi Sadhana Chesta Kendra Ucha Chesta Kendra Tadrasmi Sadhaye Ucha Rasmi Vata Chesta Kendram Kuja Adinam Purvamuktam Maya Duja. He's saying, Hey Dviz, Hey Brahman, Hey Maitre, Chesta Kendra of Mars and other planets means from Mars to Saturn, except Sun and Moon. I have told you before in just previous chapter. So Chesta Kendra, you know how to find out the Chesta Kendra of Mars to Saturn. Now, the calculation related to the Chesta Rashmi is very similar to the calculation of the Ucha Rashmi, exaltation rays. So, you have to only understand the process of getting Chesta Kendra. Then you have to apply the same thing. Same process you have to do. What you did for the exaltation rays, the difference, and then correction if more than 6 sign, and then you have to increase it by 1 sign by converting them into the degrees only, and then that will multiply it by 2, and that will give you the value of the rays. Let's imagine verse 4. More clarity will come. Sayanark tribho arkasya vyakendu cha vidhos tatha chesta kendram rasalpam tat chakra chodyam rasadhike. So through this verse number 4, he is saying you have to add 3 Rasi. That's very important. It's a Sayana arc. Arc means sun. Sayana. So you have to add the longitude. You have to add the ayanamsa in the sun's longitude. Always remember. Go with this one. So you have to do this, add 3 Rasi to sun's longitude. That's Sayana longitude, which will be the Chesta Kendra for sun. So how to find out Chesta Kendra of sun? So you have to just add 3 Rasi to sun's longitude. And for the moon, for moon, the difference, the longitude difference, the sidereal longitude difference of the sun from the moon, that will give you the moon's Chesta Kendra. Because Maharshi has not revealed how to calculate the sun Chesta Kendra and moon Chesta Kendra. That's why he is revealing here. So now it's very easy to understand. So now you have ability to calculate the Sun Cheshta Kendra also and Moon Cheshta Kendra also. And for Mars to Saturn, you already know. Now apply how you do. So how you do the Cheshta Rasmi Sadhan. So if the Cheshta Kendra for any planet, you know the Cheshta Kendra. So now if Cheshta Kendra of any planet is more than 6 sign, more than 6s, then you have to do the correction. Deduct that one from the 12 sign. And then the same thing Maharshi told, like you have to follow the same process as you did in the Ucharasmi calculation. You have to add one sign and then you have to convert it into the degrees and then you have to multiply it by 2 and then that will give you the Cheshta Rasmi of the planet or that particular native. So these are the revelation. How to calculate the Rasmis? How to calculate the Rasmis? These are the revelations. Now you calculated the Rasmis. So you calculated the Rasmis. So Maharshi is going to give you the Subha Asubha Rasmi Kathan. Because once you calculate it, then how to categorize Subha Rasmis and Asubha Rasmis, good and bad radiations, through the verse number 5. Let's come. Chesto Ucharasmi Yogardham Subharasmiha Prakirtite Ashtabhyascha Visuddho As Sava Subhakyascha Katyate. Now you already did the bare calculation, only calculation. You have the values for each planet. You have the values of exaltation rays, Ucharasmis, and the Cheshta Rasmis. Now, how to categorize? How to know? How to calculate? Do the sadhana of the Subh and Asubh, malefic and benefic Rasmis. So Maharshi is revealing that one in this verse number 5. He is saying you have to add Ucha Rasmi and the Cheshta Rasmi together. So Sun Ucha Rasmi you got and Sun Cheshta Rasmi you got. Add them. Do this for all the planets, starting from Sun to Saturn. So you have to add them. And then once you add them, then do the average. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. That result will give you the auspicious rays. So that is that much rays, that is the Subharasmi of that particular planet or that native. The value, the indication will come up. And for same planet is radiating. All the spectrum. Not only radiating only Subha, only benefic radiations, benefic Rasmis. So now you know how to calculate the benefic radiation, Subharasmi. And for Asubharasmi, you have to subtract the Subharasmi from 8. So like for Sun, you got Subharasmi. So for Sun, Ucharasmi plus Cheshtarasmi divided by 2, you got the Subharasmi. Whatever value you got, then subtract that value from 8. That will be the Asubharasmi for Sun. So for each planet, now you have Subharasmi's values and Asubharasmi's values. So this is the calculation. This is the calculation. He is coming by coming. He is coming slowly, slowly. He will give you more power. He will bless you. with the more revelations. So at this stage, up to verse number 5, we are able to calculate the Subha Rashmi's values and the Asubha Rashmi's values of all the 7 planets by the blessings of Mahaguru Mahasi. Now Mahaguru is going further, diving down more, taking Maitre in more deeper wisdom of Vedic astrology through the verse number 6. Verse number 6 is all about the Ishtakashta sadhan through Rashmis. So Ishtakashta sadhan through Rashmis, he is going to do very important concept. Very great and auspicious revelation is coming up through the verse number 6. Let's immerse. Ishtakashta sadhana उच्च चेष्टा करान वेकाना दिग्भि हेत्वा तु योजयते तदर्थमीष्ट संज्ञम यस्यात कष्टम तत्पष्टि तस्यूतम. So Ist and Kast, benefic and malefic tendencies, that evaluation he is doing, that sadhan he is doing. He is saying we have to reduce one from each of the Chesta Rashmi and Ucha Rashmi. So first step is reduce one from Chesta Rashmi and Ucha Rashmi. And then multiply the product by 10 and add them together. So you have the value for each planet, Chesta Rashmi and Ucha Rashmi. So whatever the value of the Chesta Rashmi, just deduct 1, you got a value. And whatever value of the Ucha Rashmi, deduct 1, you got a value. These two values. Multiply these, multiply the product by 10 and add together. So you have to multiply them separately by 10, then you have to add them together. Once you add them together, then you got a resultant. Then you have to half the sum. Whatever value you got, you have to half the sum. That will be the Istfal. That is the benefic tendency of the planet. Now you are at the tendency level. What is the intrinsic inherent tendency of the planet for doing benefic of that particular native? That value will tell you. That value will indicate you. Now after the Istfal benefic tendencies, now come towards the malefic tendencies, Kastfal. How much Kast that planet is inherently inclined, thinking to give that native. How to calculate that one? Then you have to reduce that Istfal from 60. That will give you the planet's Kastfal for that particular native. You have the value now. You have the Istfal value for that particular native of a planet. And you have a Kastfal value for that particular native or a planet. It's a native specific Shastra. A sun might have very good for one native and not good for other native. That comparison will also give you the idea if the Istfal is more and or Kastfal more, how that planet will behave for this particular native throughout his life cycle. So that will come up. Although Maharshis continue in the process of revelation. There are 20 verses in this chapter, 20 blessings, 20 Mahaguru Vakya from the mouth of Mahaguru Maharshi Parashar himself. So that will come. Slowly, slowly we will get into it by the blessings of Mahaguru Maharshi Parashar. I'm closing this episode at verse number 6 today only. And in the next verse, we will go in more detail about the East and Cast related to the Saptavargas. Mercy will reveal in more detail. That will definitely give you great understanding. In the end, I will pray Mahaguru Maharshi Parashar will bless you. Jagat Guru, Adi Guru Mahadev bless you. I will pray for everyone through this pratna. Asuto ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma mritam gamaya. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Jai Gurudev. Har Har Mahadev.